everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel, Go Bucks. In this video, I'm going to be cleaning my Glowforge, so I'm going to show you the process that I use to clean. Now, I'm using methods that I've learned from different people online or in Facebook groups. This is what works for me. It may not be what works for you, but I kind of want to give you an idea of what I do. And I will also be showing you my inline fan setup. So I won't be taking apart my inline fan setup, but I have brought my camera down to show you how I have it set up, how I vent it out, and of course I have all the links in your description for you. Now, if you are watching this video and still thinking about getting a Glowforge, go ahead and check out the link in my description or the one right here. You can save up to $500 on a new machine. So let's go ahead and clean my Glowforge. Alright, so now I am going to unscrew this. This is just my little elbow that I have. I actually can't see it, I'm just guessing. So this comes off. So this is just the little clamp. And this elbow goes down, and I'll show you how I do my inline fan setup. So this is loose enough. You can see dust, debris. So I'll let that drop. I'm gonna put my camera down and move it to the table, and we're gonna clean the Glowforge. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this fan. This is a stencil brush, actually. I got it from Michael's, and I like because it's nice and stiff, and it can clean out this section. I'm just going to use my little shark vacuum to get rid of this dust that's coming off. But this is from a year's use. Now, I don't run it every single day, but like many of you, I did run my machine a lot at Christmas time. So we're just going to kind of do that. I'm not going to do a full deep clean because my machine actually still is under warranty and I don't want to take it apart yet. So we're going to do a couple different steps here to kind of get some of this cleaned out. So let me brush this out. I have this little vacuum. Hold on, let me grab it. This is a Shark handheld vacuum right here. Let's see if I can get some out like this. And now I have this little air thing. It's like canned air but reusable. I'm gonna kind of, now just so you know, I don't like doing this because there's dust flying in the air everywhere. I opened a window, so open a window. All right, so I have that. I'm not gonna clean it exact, but that's good enough for now. So let me grab my paper towel, and I'm just going to gently wipe this down over here, and that's it with the fan. So now we're gonna turn it around, and I'm gonna clean the inside for you. All right, so you can see my machine is very dusty. Let me adjust my camera. It's very, very dusty because I have been engraving stamp rubber. So I'm going to take my crumb tray out and move it to the side. And we will clean that later. So I'm going to take, before I do any of my solution, I use it just a vinegar water solution. I'm going to go through and just get some of these like really big piles of dust out with a paper towel. There's nothing on it, it's just a dry paper towel. You can see it's like accumulating in there. So just gonna take another one, kind of wipe this, and we'll get the rest in a little bit. All right, so before I do any of the cleaning in the machine, I'm going to clean my mirror and lenses. So you can see, real dusty. And here is my little lens thing. So the first thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to get my Zeiss wipes. I have my lens cleaner wipes here. I have a whole box of them. I got it from Walmart. So I'm going to just use it to do all of this. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to clean the mirror in here. Let me open my wipe first. So here we have right here. This pops right off. Very gently take this out. You can see my mirror is dirty. So very gently wipe it. So mine does have a little bit of a spot. It's been performing, oh no, it's gone. But that mirror was very, very dirty. So let's go ahead, drop that back in there. All right, so we have that in there. There's like dust coming out of there. All right, so now we're going to gently take this out. So just pull. I'm going to take the ribbon out, just push down and gently pull. Now, honestly, I don't take this out every time I clean just because I'm afraid of breaking it. So let's start cleaning some lenses. So we have this little mirror here. And then now I am going to clean the lens on the inside. Let's wipe this down. So that's where our removal tool comes in. The metal is magnet, that's how we take it out. And just be very careful. I clean my lenses pretty often, so mine looks pretty good. But I'm going to very gently clean it on here. Only grab it on the sides. And be careful, you know, Glowforge is out of stock of these a lot. So just be very gentle when you clean this. Only touch the sides. And this right here, the lens is still pretty dirty because that was an old wipe. So I just set this very gently to the side and I'm going to open a new one. All right, so let's open a new one. Clean this. And then the inside of this is pretty dusty from all my stamp rubbers. So I'm just going to take this wipe and clean in here as well, just to be safe. All right, so now we're ready to install. So right here, this is to remove. So we're going to flip it over and it nests right into install. So you can see, and there's an arrow right here that points how to put it back in. So we're going to very gently put this in here and make sure you push. I did have a friend who didn't put their lens in all the way and her cuts were so bad for a while and it turns out her lens wasn't in all the way. So I'm going to take this wipe. Oop, I touched the lens here, so I want to be careful. I'm just going to wipe off these sides. And then you can see we have this little fan in here that needs to be cleaned. So I'm just going to kind of take this, go right here. And a secret weapon that I found in a video online, and I can't quite remember who put it up, so I'll try to link it in the, like, once I edit. But I got this cutie electronic cleaner. So this is safe for sensitive electronics. And essentially, this is like really heavily alcohol based, so it dries pretty quickly. So I'm going to take this, take the cap off, and then let me double check to make sure I know this. Okay, so I'm going to put the straw in here, just like when you do like WD-40 or something like that. All right, so now I'm going to take this, and actually I'm not going to clean it with this one. I'm just going to wipe it down. And we're good right there. All right, so now we can take our lens wipes and wipe off a couple other areas. There is a lens over here that we need to wipe off. And then, let me double check. There's always one that I miss. So we have that. And now let's wipe our lens right here. You can see it's really dirty. Oh, you can't even see it. I'm wiping the lens on up here. Super dirty. And now we can get to just doing a nice clean in here. So this has so much dust. I like to use a water vinegar solution. Okay, here's my water vinegar solution. We are going to go through, and first I want to clean the fans on this. So I'm going to take this and reattach it actually. So just be careful, push this down, and make sure you have it all the way like this. And I'm going to use my little dusting spray to clean this out. It just died. All right, so now gently place this back on here. All right, we have that over here. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to use this electronics cleaning spray. So I'm going to place some paper towels down because this will drip. I'm going to take my spray. There's a fan right here. I'm going to spray. Let me just show you that. Look at that, nasty. So because this is like a alcohol based, it's going to it's going to dry pretty quickly. So totally safe. You can see all of that's dripping out. It's pretty gross, but that's what comes out of there. So while that's cleaning, I'm going to clean the tube, clean the top, all that fun stuff. So this is just my vinegar and water solution. I always spray it on a microfiber towel. I don't spray it directly into my machine. I'm just going to wipe this tube. I'm just going to do a quick preliminary one because it's really gross. And always make sure when you do this, your machine is off. Please don't try to clean this with your machine on. I know it seems obvious, but you always have to say it just to be safe. Some people will ask, how do you clean in the tube in between there? I have seen some people take like paper towels and like really thick pieces of like duct tape or painter's tape and feed it through so it's nice and thick and goes through there. Personally, I don't really care about it being that dirty, so I just leave it. Now, you can choose to do it, whatever you want, totally works, but it's not something that I find necessary for me. So I'm going to keep wiping all these areas. This will probably be a time lapse because it's kind of boring. So I'll see you in a minute. All right, so you can see it's a lot cleaner. I'm going to clean it a little bit more once I get it hooked back up. But check this out. This was brand new. And it's pretty gross. So I'm going to show you my inline fan setup. We're going to put my Glowforge back and then we're going to clean the crumb tray. All right guys, so sorry if this gets a little bit shaky. I'm going to show you with my camera how I set up my Glowforge. So I have this tabletop from IKEA and it's on 2 drawers. Now I have a rolling Alex cart right here, which is great because I can keep more materials, but it also hides my inline fan setup. So let's move over here. Now this is an elbow connector. You saw me detach it earlier. So this goes on the back of my Glowforge. I tighten it to get it on there. And then the cord feeds down here. Let me get a better view. And you can see there is my inline fan. So I have 2 reducers, 1, 2, and I taped the crap out of it. I super taped it so they go on. And then I have this insulated hose right here. That's my power cord to my Glowforge. And I vent out of my window. So you can see I have it attached here, taped, and this expands. So I have all of this linked in my description. You can purchase it. And I get a beautiful view of a fence. You can see it all feeds through here. And my machine sits down there. So the great thing about that elbow connector is that it takes my exhaust and brings it down like this. And it's hidden by the drawer. So that's kind of an overview of my inline fan setup. I'm going to attach my Glowforge again, and then we're going to clean the crumb tray. Right, so I'm going to put this towel down. This is just an old towel that we have. I actually bought it to go to college with, so that's how old it is. And here is my crumb tray. Now, crumb trays have an opening at the bottom over here, so I am going to take it and kind of do this. Some junk came out over here. And now we're going to go through and just start wiping it down first, just a dry wipe. Now, there are a lot of different methods people use to clean their crumb tray. Some people take it apart, clean it in their bathtub. Some people spray it with a hose and leave it outside on a sunny day. They all seem to work well for the person who does it, but there's always risks involved. So it's important to clean your crumb tray because it can get really gross. And if you have a lot of stuff in it, that's what can spark fires. So you don't want that. And especially when you're cutting and engraving wood, it tends to get sticky. Now, I have heard when people take it apart, you run the risk of knocking it out of level. And if your crumb tray isn't level, that's not good. Now, I don't have a pressure washer, so I'm not going to pressure wash it. And I've seen a lot of people who are, you know, more experienced Glowforge users than me, like Mark from Big Blue Laser. I saw him say once that he cleans his crumb tray like once a year or never. So I'm going to follow a similar method where I am just going to be wiping it down. You know, this is more of an aesthetically pleasing thing to me, and making sure that I don't have, you know, extreme fire hazards. But honestly, I'm going to leave it like this. I've seen a lot of people use like a bottle brush things, like pipe cleaners to clean these. Let me try out a toothbrush. Again, I don't think it's that urgent, at least not yet. Maybe one of these days I'll take it apart. I don't really like the idea of it, to be honest. If you had compressed air, this would be great to use. My little can, the rechargeable one, died. So that's not working out too well for me. But overall, it's a lot cleaner. So I'm gonna leave it like this. Again, you can clean it more if you like. I am doing a light deep clean, a normal clean. So I'm going to move the camera, I'm going to put this back in the Glowforge, I'm going to do my last cleaning touches with it. All right, so I'm going to put this in here. We're going to do a little bit more cleaning. And don't forget, you want to put it in the dimple so it stays. So everything needs another wipe because you can see there's like a little coat, essentially, from the like dust from the rubber stamp material. I'm going to very, very carefully put just a little bit on this paper towel. I don't want it to be too wet. And go through here. I prefer using a microfiber, but the paper towel is going to get this nasty coat off a little bit better. All right, and then we're going to kind of wipe that a little bit. All right, so there is a lot of nastiness in here. I'm just going to quickly go through and clean it. This fan back here is nasty. I'm going to take this electronic cleaner and spray it back there. Be careful, don't do too much, but the thing is, remember that this is like very heavily alcohol based, so it cleans like quickly. So we're gonna go through, spray that. All right, so we got that going through. We're gonna let that clear out. And now I'm gonna just wipe down things. All right, and just to do a last finishing touch, I'm going to put a little bit, this is my Mr. Clean cleaner, just a little bit, not a lot to like leave it on there, but I just want to clean this glass. I think it makes a huge difference when it's actually clean. So we're going to go through, grab this, and I've wiped it multiple times, but look, there's still nasty dirt on there. All right, close the gate, wipe this down one more time. Be gentle with that. You shouldn't spray straight on there. I did it out of habit, but I'm not going to cut it out because I'm sure you guys probably have accidentally done that too. So I'm going to go through, clean, clean, clean. All right. So now my Glowforge is clean. I'm going to let it sit just a little bit to make sure that fan clears out a little bit more. But that is how I do kind of a clean with my Glowforge and an overview of my inline fan setup. All right, guys, my Glowforge is clean. So some of you may clean it more deeply than I do. Some of you may not clean it as well. It doesn't matter. What really matters at the end of the day when you clean your machine is that you want to have your lens clean and your mirrors clean. That is what really matters. Now, you also need to have your crumb tray clean. If it's really dirty, if your fans aren't working, then you run a very high fire risk. So I did a whole bunch of these different items that I used to clean. Now, thank you to anyone who may have shown me a video with some of the methods. I by no means am an expert. I am by no means the only person who knows how to clean a machine. So thank you for everyone who's shown me some ideas. There are a lot of people online that have great information. Hopefully this video helped you out. And if you like this video, please give it a like. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. Liking and subscribing helps my channel so much. And again, if you're thinking about getting a machine, you can go ahead, click the link in the description. You can save up to $500 on a new machine.